dear. Allow me to give you a card. Regina Dedlock of Dedlock and Balsover Funeral Directors. Ceremonies at all prices. May I just mention our special offer? Buy one funeral, get one free. These are hard times at the mortuary, Miss Pym. As you see, this is in fact our funeral parlour.
Power? Oh, what a funny word, I don't know. Is nobody else here yet? I suppose I am a bit early.
Better early than late, Miss Pym. Sorry, little professional quip. Solemn occasion. Solemn occasion.
Wouldn't mind waiting with me much till the others turn up.
Of course, of course. Absolutely no rush. You worked for Mr. Throgmorton, did you?
Yeah, I was PA for a Just one thing I was wondering, I mean, why do we all have to be here? I mean, it's a bit irregular, isn't it?
Well, Miss Pym, I suppose the exact rationale went with the late Mr. Throgmorton. But as I understand it, he was desirous of in case of a sudden demise, of communing with the three ladies who meant most to him in his life. Sadly curtailed, alas, as you well know, it was a sudden demise. So his last wishes were that you, Miss Pym, as his personal assistant, and Miss Thompson as his secretary, and of course Mrs. Throgmorton, were to meet here as a sort of a farewell party, as one might say. He spelt out the details with characteristic clarity. You see the champagne there?
Champagne?
He even specified the vintage. Moet and Chandon 49.
Don't you think it's just a bit peculiar?
Well, to you and I, Miss Pym, but may I call you Valerie? Mr. Throgmorton was a powerful and wealthy man. He was the financial director of the Technopod Corporation, purveyors of processed peas to Her Majesty, not to mention Sainsbury's and Marks and Spencer's and other peers of the realm. Such men have unusual whims. Such men live by the ego and die by the ego, usually quite suddenly. Why, only last month we had Sir Jock McTavish, chairman of Thistle Paper Products, lying on those very trestles. He had the whole room decorated with loops of tartan toilet tissue and a lone bagpiper. Terrible racket. Guests were in a dreadful state.
I suppose he did the Highlands.
Never been north of Watford in his life. And then we had another distinguished gentleman. He was keen on the ballet. He had to have the chorus from Sadler's Wells leaping about the room. Oh, gosh, yeah. The trestle, the casket fell off the trestles with the vibration. He didn't have time to fix it. So the bearers all had to lean inwards as they carried it. Oh, yes, Miss Pym. The rich and famous live and die in a different world.
Well, it was sudden all right. The first thing we knew was when we saw the doctor coming out of his office. They just seemed to whisk him away. They wouldn't even let us see him.
Well, you can see him now, Miss Pym.
Oh, I can't see him now. Not like this by myself. Sorry, Wenda.
Excuse me, one moment. It must be
Oh,
the old
don't
lady.
leave me. Oh.
You enter.
Mrs. Dedlock, what's all this about? I've had nothing but confusion since poor Henry had his unfortunate problem. Can you please tell all of us what's going on? And aside from anything else, it's freezing in here.
But to answer your last point first, dear lady, the temperature is regulated not for the living, but for the dear departed. I'm sorry, in these modern times, I must remember to call them clients. As to the purpose of this small but exclusive gathering, I was just explaining to Miss Pym.
It's a sort of farewell party. You wanted to say goodbye.
Well, he left it a bit late, didn't he? As per usual, I might add.
Oh, Mrs. Throckmorton, how could you be so heartless? Him just lying there.
Well, perhaps. Anyway, what are we supposed to do?
Well, ladies, I'm sure Henry would have wished us to make this a pleasant social occasion. Get to know each other. You all know who I am, and I know Mrs. Throgmorton, of course. You must be Miss Thompson, the secretary.
Brenda Thompson, that's right. Oh, don't know how you do it. You're just like your third dead. I expect you get used to it in your business.
Very true, my dear. In these modern times, the people just don't want to think about it. You think of all the respectable middle-aged ladies reading and indeed writing bloodthirsty detective stories. Bodies everywhere. Inspector Morse, Curse of the Fruit Flies, Marsupials from Hell, Miss Marple. They love it. But when do you ever read about the Undertaker?
You go to school with Henry?
Well, yes. Funnily enough, so did Dr. Hargreaves, who did the death certificate. We all grew up together as lasses and lads in the north. Henry did best, of course. He made a success. Funny enough, it was Henry who suggested I should be an undertaker. He said he had the face for it.
What's the face got to do with it?
Very important is the face. You can't go running around everywhere grinning all over the place. People would be very upset. I wanted to be a dentist, actually. Always fancied being a dentist.
That's a bit different, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it isn't. The dentists have faster cars, of course. But on the other hand, we have much more fun holding up the traffic. Anyways, you wouldn't want a really graveyard face 3 inches away whilst he's holding a drill. Now, would you?
There are similarities, though.
Yes, yes. I thought you'd get it shortly. There are similarities, though.
And you're going to tell us, aren't you?
Well, since you insist.
Being a dentist.
Well, a dentist, you see, when he looks at you, he sees teeth. Crown here, bridge there, straighten that out a bit, say £500. He can't help it, it's part of his job. But say an undertaker is at a party. Not that we're invited very often, mind you. Well, he sees bodies, coffins. When I meet someone, I think to myself, ah, yes, classic oak job, full brass handles, mitred joints, about 69 inches by 32.
How morbid.
Oh, yes, that's just the normal coffins. There are, of course, clients who wish to be buried with things.
What, like favourite possessions and stuff?
Oh, yes. Goes back to the pharaohs, the ancient Chinese. It's, oh, yes. Yes, you read about it. But do you realise the implications? There was a lady cellist last year. Have you ever seen a cello-shaped coffin, Miss Pym?
Oh no.
Oh yes, that was a real challenge to the casket maker. It wasn't actually here, but at Grubley and Sons. Oh yes, they certainly rose to the challenge. Very intricate, beautiful. In fact, all the trade went along, just out of professional interest. Family and friends at the front of the chapel, and about 50 undertakers at the back. Oh yes, that was a real oh, imagine a concert pianist.
Miss
What a
Dedlock,
challenge.
may I remind you that while we're here having this chit-chat, my late husband is resting over there. Don't you feel he's due for some respect? After all, he was in line for Mer next year.
Oh yes. He was so respected and loved by everyone. Chairman of the Charities Council Subcommittee. A wonderful family man.
Henry was a pillar of society. Now, should we get on with what we're here for?
Oh yes, of course, sorry, I was getting carried away on deep thoughts by the irony of death. Sic transit gloria mundi.
Didn't she work in a camp? That's Gloria, what you just said.
I don't know what you two are on about, and I don't think I want to know.
Oh, we see it so often. someone's successful, loved and respected, and then they depart. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Sorrow and misery all around. But conversely, when a rogue...
A real scumbag.
Precisely. When he goes, everyone's glad he's gone. Everyone says, let's get at the money. What about the will?